Our weekly spot from our good friends at BrooklynFights.com. Xavier Porter joining us for a couple moments. And don't forget the weekly segment from our good friends at BrooklynFights.com. Visit them online for in-depth features, interviews, videos, merchandise as well. Hand wraps and snapback hats are ready to purchase online at BrooklynFights.com. It's a great source for boxing along the East Coast, focus on New York and the surrounding area. BrooklynFights.com, one of our newest sponsors to the warm-up. As we welcome in Xavier, good to talk to you, my friend. I know you are up in New York. You are at the weigh-in. What's the environment? What's the atmosphere up like there right now?
Hey, Rich, how's everything?
Everything's
pretty good. It's pretty good out here. We're at the Long Island University gym there right now, so they're putting together, just basically getting all the fighters together, getting the media all settled. Everybody's getting their seats, and everybody's getting ready to get the show rocking and rolling.
All right, well, let's actually go to that fight, and then we'll kind of recap some of the other things. But obviously, you've got a bunch of fights on the docket with the Cunningham and the Spence and Algieri. And the Spence and Algieri, to me, is a huge fight because I look at Chris Algieri. I think a lot of people will really, to a man, say, okay, he's got to not only have a good showing, win this fight, as crazy as it sounds, to stay relevant, but then you have a guy, a young kid, a prospect in Earl Spence, who needs to win and show he can compete in a real stacked division at 147. What are your early thoughts on this fight?
Early thoughts, I would say Algieri's gonna. If Algieri thinks he's gonna win, or if he wants to win, he's gonna have to come out and take control of the fight. He's gonna have to show his experience, all the tough battles he's been through. With Khan Porandikov, and with Manny, and so he's gonna have to really come out and fight hard and take control of the fight and show Spence that hey, you're a good fighter, but you're up and coming in the sport. You're gonna have to respect me for who I am. For Spence, I say he just has to do what he does. Just stay focused, stay busy, stay content with his style of he just breaking people down, going to the body well. Just keep that southpaw style going forward, and if he's successful, he'll come out with the victory.
I think
it's all about whoever's going to take over the fight first couple of rounds. Whoever sets the tone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was just going to say that I kind of echo those thoughts and sentiments because when we spoke to Chris last week, he obviously not giving the game plan, but I think he realizes the first 2 or 3 rounds are kind of going to dictate the fight, and then he'll kind of actually get a more of a sense of. Okay, what kind of punch output am I getting here from Earl? Am I going to have to cut off the ring a little more? Am I going to have to be aggressive? Am I going to start backing him up a little more? Am I going to throw punches more judiciously, more wisely? The one thing, though, about Spence, and again, he kind of echoed those same sentiments. You look at his age, 25, 26. Again, I find it hard to say a 26-year-old or a 25-year-old, even in that realm, with his talent, is considered a, quote, prospect. I would say a little too old in that regard, but you got that Olympic pedigree. He obviously has not stepped up in class. This will really be a step up in class. I don't know if you've spoken to him or what you can gauge regarding Earl Spence Jr. and his camp and where they think they need to be as far as come Saturday night. What kind of game plan do you think he's going to provide? Do you think he's going to be a pressure-packed action fighter, an aggressive fighter, or do you think he's going to also take that wait-and-see approach early on?
Well, I spoke to him and just kind of analyzing how he feels about everything and understanding where he's coming from. He's just basically focused on sticking to the game plan and doing everything that he's comfortable and usually does. He's not trying to stray away from anything that he's done before. It's a basic attack. It's whatever the man gives, he's going to take it. He's just going to break him down, man down.
Who do you like in this fight?
With Spence and Algieri, I actually like Spence. I think Spence is he's gonna stick to his game plan. He's gonna come with the 1-2s, and then he's just gonna start going to Algieri's body, and that's gonna. And I would say possibly by the 7th or 8th, maybe the 9th round, he might get the KO because we all know Algieri's tough, but Algieri is not a pure boxer. He's come from the kickboxing background, and Spence is a pure boxer, Olympic boxer at that. So I think Spence is just gonna, like I said, stick to his game plan, and he's not gonna stray away from it. He has a great team behind him, and they're focused. They're ready.
Xavier Porter joining us for a couple of months, talking a little boxing on a Friday edition of the warm-up. Rich Quinones here. We'll take you up to 2. Of course, does a great job with BrooklynFights.com. As I mentioned, they got everything online, in-depth features, interviews, videos, merchandise as well. They're starting to sell that at a nice little rate as well, moving merchandise, as we like to say. Quickly, it's a great weekend in the world of boxing. Let's go back last weekend for a moment or two, and the Manny Pacquiao-Timothy Bradley fight. Were you as shocked? Were you more surprised that it seemed Bradley, I don't want to say wasn't focused, got dominated in the fashion in which he did, or that Pacquiao still had that much gas left in the tank and he kind of turned back the clock?
No, I wasn't shocked at all. I predicted a knockout. I was shocked that he didn't get the knockout. I felt as if Manny truly wanted to knock him out, he could have. I think Manny kind of just wanted to show to Tim Bradley and everybody that he's a much better boxer than people expected him to be at this point in time in his career, at this point in time in his age. And Manny just kind of he didn't really put the foot on the gas. He just kind of kept his foot there to maintain the speed. But if he really wanted to go harder, he could have knocked Tim Bradley out. You know, I predicted a knockout. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. But nonetheless, it was a great fight, and it was a great learning lesson for Tim Bradley as well.
I thought after round 3 or 4, when Manny really started to kind of find that fountain of you saw especially with that left hand. I mean, we know about the right hook, but for 20 years his left hand has been a dangerous weapon. You know, I know a lot of people are saying that he's going to retire. I think he's torn. You hear Bob Arum, he's top-ranked star, say he might be torn. You don't know what they're divulging with Freddie Roach. And I think at the end of the day, you can look at everything. The titles, the weight classes, the fanfare, the Hall of Fame. I think you have to see how the Filipino election plays out. I know a lot of people haven't been talking about that because if he's elected to the Senate, it's a 6-year term than being a congressman, which he is now. So you're talking about maybe Russ maybe not being able to dedicate himself to his craft 24/7. But with that being said, when you look at in the last 6 or 7 months, you lose the number 1, number 2 fighters over the last 25 years, pound for pound. If you want to talk about the stars, if you will, and Pacquiao and Mayweather, to me it kind of it begs the question, who's ready to take the seat at the table as the next face of boxing? I mean, if I were to give you, and you give me your guy, if I were to give you 3 or 4, Thurman, Wilder, Ward, GGG, Crawford, maybe Chocolito, maybe Gonzalez, who do you think is that next face of boxing?
Well, Ward, his face has already been there. He's already been there, so I can't really go with Ward. If I would say the next person, it would have to be out of Triple G and Crawford. Both those guys do amazing things in the ring. They both box well. They both know how to defeat their opponents in different styles. You know, they both know how to cut off the ring well. And it's like when you watch them in the ring, you're watching thinking men box. You know, because when you watch boxing, you got a lot of people that they're just in there throwing punches, and they're not really trying to defeat their opponent by different ways. They're just trying to win by maybe a knockout.
Sure, overwhelm them. Yep.
Exactly. But these guys, you can see that they're thinking, they're focused, they're trying different methods and strategies to defeat their opponent. And it's like if one method doesn't work, they're already at plan A or they're already at plan B or plan C. You know, so like for instance, when Triple G fought Lemieux, no one expected Triple G to come out and box. Everyone expected Triple G to come out and just brawl and go punch for punch with Lemieux, but he actually showed that he had a jab. Not only he showed he had a jab, he showed he has a great, powerful jab. And the same thing with Crawford. He just sits there, he times you, he watches your movements, he sees where the opening is, and once he figures you out, he's already on the path of being victorious. So I would say if the next face, if not the face now, would be Triple G. But right there is Crawford.
Last one before I let you get out of here. I know you kind of broke down the anatomy of that knockout, Martin and Joshua, and wow, I mean that. Let me tell you something. Martin just looked silly in that second round in front of that sellout crowd at the O2 Arena. What did you see on? I mean, the first one, that short right, which was just devastating. But what did you see as a whole in that series? Those knockouts, I should say, knockdown than knockout.
What I saw was a simple catch and shoot, like Floyd Mayweather.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Floyd loves to fight southpaws. I saw a simple catch and shoot, and I saw a guy, a Martin, who was trying to think on his feet and got caught.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was while he was planning his attack, Joshua's attack was already in play. And so while he threw the straight right, Joshua came back with the straight. While he threw his lead right, I should say, Martin that is, Joshua came with his straight right hand down the pipe, which is a simple catch and shoot. And once he got hit with the first punch, he's like, wow, I didn't expect to get hit with that, and I didn't expect to get dropped. Second punch, second knockdown, I feel was a little embarrassment on his part, which is why he just sat there and said, oh, okay, you caught me. I'll take the little 8 count. I feel like he beat the count. However,
he didn't want to fight.
He probably missed a second or two from the referee.
Yeah.
But I think Martin he still is a good fighter. I just think he just got caught.
Yeah.
I think he got caught.
It happens. That's the name of the game. All right, pal, listen, I know you're busy. You got the weigh-in coming up. I know you're going to have some good stuff, breaking that down, hopefully with some quotes as well on BrooklynFights.com. Outstanding analysis as always. Next week, we got you on a Wednesday or Thursday as well. We'll recap everything, and always a pleasure.
Absolutely. I appreciate your time, Rich.
All right, you got it. All right, you got it. Have a good weekend. Xavier Porter. And don't forget, again, our weekly boxing segments from our good friends at BrooklynFights.com. Check them out online, BrooklynFights.com. In-depth features, interviews, videos, merchandise as well, hand wraps, snapback hats, ready to be purchased online at BrooklynFights.com. A great source for the sweet science and boxing along the East Coast, focus on New York, surrounding area. BrooklynFights.com, the exclusive sponsor of the Warm-Ups weekly boxing segment.
BrooklynFights.com is your hottest stop for in-depth boxing coverage, features, and strong opinions on the world of boxing. Covering the fight life from Brooklyn to the world stage, BrooklynFights.com delivers the inside story on today's biggest names and emerging prospects, keeping it real, never biased, and brought to you from the world capital of fighting, Brooklyn, New York. BrooklynFights.com, your newest outlet for boxing. Visit BrooklynFights.com today. BrooklynFights.com. BrooklynFights.com.